Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and as always I am hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
Today we're going to take you through an A to Z, not necessarily in that order, compendium of alien species that are allegedly interacting with humanity. Big news if true.
Certainly.
However, if you don't know us, you can follow us on Facebook at Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. You can like and subscribe on YouTube at Apocalypse Bull, and we're available on SoundCloud and most other podcasting platforms as Cutting Through the Bull in the PTA. Let's thank some new and returning listeners, and then we'll get on to this mashup of alien bastards.
Yeah.
That are visiting us and potentially want to cause us harm.
Bolton
In the UK, not just harm to Bolton, but harm to the world, Claire. Bolton, you've been listening, thank you very much. Tempe, Arizona, San Francisco, California, Stevenage in the UK.
Sorry, what was the one before that?
Piesti in Romania.
Is that how you say
We'll
it?
go with that, shall
That's what I'm going with, Piesti in Romania.
I can't even read it. Like,
It's got tails on it.
what's that? What's the thing under the S?
It's a tail.
Cool. How does that? I wonder how that's actually pronounced.
Yes.
Well, they won't be listening anymore, well done guys.
Thanks, Romania.
Santiago Domingo Este in the Dominican Republic. Sari in the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Wow.
Kennet in Missouri, Spring Valley, New York. Hook in the United Kingdom.
Wow.
Guadalajara, Spain. Bangalore in India. Krasnodar in the Russian Federation. Not banned in Russia. Going strong. Niles, Michigan, and Ashburn, Virginia top. So, let's run through the big boys of alien races who were allegedly contacting Earth and reaching out, touching us, probing us, making secret deals with the government.
They've done all the touching and probing.
How are you so sure?
Because, they've been around for a while, haven't they?
Hundreds of thousands of people around the globe have had very intimate encounters with these aliens.
Allegedly.
Can they all be lying?
Only takes one to be true, doesn't it?
Hundreds of thousands of people, just saying.
The odds are it's probably true.
Let's start with the big boys of alien abduction. Everyone's favourite creepy sexless men.
The Pinks.
No!
Oh.
But close.
Oh.
We're the Pinks.
We're the Pinks, technically.
Yeah.
The Greys. Let's not bring colour into it, is what I say.
Yeah. Oh, could we not call them aliens of colour?
I always call them, I always call them creepy sexless men. The Greys come from a star system known as Zeta Reticuli.
Why do they? Yeah. Oh, that's fact, is it?
That's,
The way
that's what they said.
That's the way
That's what they said.
It's just the way that's written. It's like, this is fact. So, okay.
And anybody who knows their film history, what else comes from Zeta Reticuli?
E.T.?
No, not that I know of.
Starship Troopers?
No.
No.
Xenomorph in Alien.
No.
Ooh.
Well, hope we don't bump into any of them. I hope they're not on this list.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Well, what I'm saying is, Pete, the aliens have told the people they've abducted there from Zeta Reticuli.
Right, okay. Fair enough then.
A little over 40 light years away, they're practically our closest neighbours. They're the type of neighbours that you'd conveniently forget to invite over for a dinner party.
Is it going to probe everybody?
Oh yeah, there is that.
Hi, I've bought some.
I bought a
I've
probe.
bought a potato salad, a quiche, and this big anal probe.
Who's first?
They could just be like him off American Dad, innit? What's the name?
Roger.
Roger.
Yeah!
They could be quite, we've got this idea of really sort of nasty, beady, big-eyed greys when they could just be like, hi.
Yeah, well, I think Roger's
In
a
all,
bit of...
in all the encounters, they don't do that, do they? They tend to anal probe it.
Yeah. The Greys are like considered the nastiest of the races. You don't want to get abducted by the Greys.
You can't even kick them in the nuts.
No.
Because they've got no nuts.
I mean, yes, you can take on at least 3 or 4 of them in a fight, if they don't paralyse you.
And they're a good blowjob height.
I thought they were really tall.
There's tall greys and short greys.
Just you to think of that one.
It's the short greys.
The short greys tend to work for the tall greys, so they obviously
that the
slave
Roger?
casters matter. But then there is some theory that the short greys also work for the Alpha Draconians as a slave caste. We'll get into it.
Do they blow bang them?
They may do. I don't know. You'd have to ask a grey if you ever encounter one. If you don't, obviously just mouth fuck it first. That's why you don't get abducted, is it? They tried to once.
To be fair, I was going to say this point earlier, like, all this alien probing that, no offence, but if an alien come up to me and wanted to probe me, I'd be doing all I could to butt fuck or whatever fuck that. Instead, like, oh,
So
this is how we feel, right?
You're
now
going to
take
revenge
your own
fuck the aliens.
Damn right. Damn
It
straight.
seems excessive.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, but then they've got what they want. They've got your DNA then.
Yeah, I can have it. I don't mind.
You should have it on my terms.
Yeah, that's my point. It's like, right, you ain't anal probing me.
Well, it
Attack
usually
is the best form of defence.
Precisely.
But sadly for that theory, in all cases of this reported alien abduction, the patient is usually paralysed
they've got
or
no
restrained
idea.
in some way.
Well, just so he likes it.
So if we had to pick out one particular race in the cosmos and call them the bad guys, it would definitely be the Greys. Tall and humanoid with a long head and distinctive grey features, they are the most commonly depicted alien life form in our media, and are also the beings that are commonly described by alien abductees who have been returned back to Earth. Most commonly reported in the media, that is a big one. Is that because they're the ones who we work most closely with in terms of above governmental level?
Perhaps.
So that's why they try to feed us images of them to make us ready for first
Bit of
contact.
soft disclosure.
Soft disclosure. Because whenever you see an alien, it's a grey.
With a softie when he probe me.
The probe, you didn't have a chance like you do, was he mouth fucking him?
Do you think we'd really, as a race, be mixing with the bad guys?
It depends on what they want to give us.
What I was going to say, what are they offering?
Now, remember when Eisenhower met the aliens back at Holloman Air Force Base?
Yeah.
Right, which we all agreed was fact, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, we all agreed there was certainly a good chance of that if it. I can't really remember, to be honest, what I.
You weren't even on that podcast.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I
The
was.
Eisenhower one.
Yeah, of course I was. It was only last year.
I think you were, yeah.
Yeah, it was only last year we did that.
But either way, when we all agreed that Eisenhower might have met aliens at Holloman Air
Well,
Force
I
Base.
never agreed, but go on.
You're always on the fence, so there was nothing
Yeah.
new there.
Now remember they said, right, the first ones he met were like, give up your nuclear weapons and we'll make Earth a virtual utopia. And Eisenhower went, nah, I'm not doing that. So then he met another bunch of aliens, didn't he? Probably the Greys, and said, we don't want you with your nuclear weapons. What we want
is to abduct a
What we
couple
want is
people.
to abduct 100,000 people a year to perform experiments on and return them to you with no harm, no memory, and we'll give you this really fun stuff. These really fun weapons and craft that will enable you to establish dominance.
It's possible they were working with the Nazis, wasn't it? And when we defeated the Nazis, they came over to our side.
And this opens up the possibilities that UFOs, UAPs, whatever you call them nowadays, that we do see, are often potentially our own military doing
exactly
with their test subject.
Or a secret program that everyone's in on. And obviously war's good for business.
Yeah.
And this stuff goes above government, doesn't it?
Pharmaceutical companies.
Big pharma. In this case, big military industrial complex.
Yeah.
What's next?
The Sasani. Hybrids are particularly common across the cosmos and are believed to be of the alien races in contact with Earth. Some even believe that we humans are genetic hybrids ourselves, but that's another discussion for another conspiracy time. The Sasani are a hybrid that was developed from reptilians and grey humans. Their development was found to be necessary after the Greys mutated themselves through genetic experimentation to a point where they could no longer reproduce using conventional means like alien sex.
So that's why they got no genitals
Yeah.
or whatnot.
Yeah.
So now they have to artificially inseminate.
They clothe themselves.
That's the thing with the Greys, they reckon they're all clones. That's why they want human sperm and eggs to try and kickstart their own species again.
Mix it up a bit.
Mix it up a bit.
Widen the gene pool.
That's where you get the Sassanani from. They reckon that's where we're going to end up.
Oh, they're
A hybrid
cute.
species with aliens. Those ones in the picture, Pete, that you're looking at are Arcturians. And everyone knows about Arcturians. Don't matter when it's Arcturian. You want to go get some like Arcturian poontang, don't you, Mike?
They
Last
look-
one you had was male.
Don't matter when it's Arcturian, baby.
They look cute, don't they?
They are one of all the species known to be believed to inhabit the Milky Way. The Arcturians are the most ancient and the wisest, and they are said to be one of the alien races in contact with Earth. If Yoda came from any one of these alien species on the list, it would have been the Arcturians, baby.
So they're not hot then.
No. It don't matter if they're male or female, according to aliens.
Yeah. It's mentioned in Aliens. The Arcturians.
Theirs was the first system to have been given the gift of life in our galaxy, and all of the other species, ours included, may have descended from them. They have mutated and evolved over time, and now exist in many forms, and the main race of them stands around 5 feet tall, with green skin and large eyes that can just see straight through you.
So that would be like the little green Martians that were depicted earlier on, like when everyone used to think of aliens, you think of a little green Martian.
Little green men, yeah.
Would that be where
Could be.
that came from, maybe?
Possibly, then they faded them out because we're not ready to meet them. The Nordics.
Is that one?
These are
apparently.
obviously the ones I'm descended from.
There's a picture of a woman with long blonde hair and sort of big eyes and...
Really big eyes.
Yeah.
But blue nonetheless. You just see blue around the edges. Now they look like Norse gods. Oh god, they're like me.
Huh.
Blonde and brilliant blue eyes and the bodies of 6 foot tall, finely toned athletes. Oh, it's like they are literally describing me.
Yeah.
Where's brown?
I think 'cause I've grown out a bit. Beard's blonde.
Ginger.
Blonde. You can see where the Scandinavians got their inspiration for Thor from. The Greys got a lot of attention when it comes to alien sightings, but the Nordics are a species that come into contact with humans almost as much as they do. However, they are more interested in the well-being of the human race than the Greys are. Even though some eyewitness reports claim to have seen Nordics in the same alien craft as Greys. A possible explanation for this is the Greys were slaves or servants of the Nordics, as a Grey's lack of empathy would make it an ideal butler.
See, the Eisenhower episode had a connection with those as
The
well, didn't
Nordics
it?
and the Greys. So
Yeah.
he allegedly met with the Nordics first, and they went, "Give up the nuclear weapons," as I said, and then he went, "No, not doing that. You know, we'll make everyone live like for 200 years and give you technology. No one have to work again. The economy will take care of itself. Everything will be automated and perfect and wonderful." And he still went, "Nah, not doing that."
Psycho, innit?
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it happened, obviously, but...
No.
You know, the purposes of this, we'll say he did.
Do you mean we all know he actually met them, Mike? The Palladians.
Apparently they're the goodies.
These like ethereal beings, by the looks of it.
The Palladians come from a bright star cluster known as the Pallades, and they are one of the beings in the Milky Way that closely resemble humans, and they are thought to be one of the alien races in contact with the Earth, although, you know, before you could be sitting in a room and one might know. You wouldn't even know it. We all sit in a room with a Nordic. You don't know it? Claire, stop raising your eyebrow at me. A major difference between us and them is that they are particularly sensitive to the psychic energies that are constantly streaming across the universe. And this means the best way of reaching out to one of them would be simply by concentrating on sending out psychic messages. Put simply, if you really want to meet up with a Palladian for a cup of tea or a few beers, just sit down and meditate on it, and whether they choose to show up or not depends on how much they're feeling your psychic energy. So sending messages like, you know, "Get your fucking asses over here now," is unlikely to work out well for you.
Well, I was trying to send psychic messages to Claire then, did you get anything?
I was just like, what's he doing? Just look at him, what the fuck?
She didn't get them then.
No.
So you're not a Palladian.
No.
Well, I didn't hear nothing.
Talking to myself as usual then.
Whenever anyone hears me talking to myself at work, and I do mutter to myself when I'm working somewhere, I'm going to do, It's a staff meeting. More than a staff meeting. Don't worry about
In
it.
your head.
Yeah. The Yael. There's been a lot of talk about which race will be the first to officially disclose their presence to Earthlings. And the one that alien experts, assuming you can call them that, all seem to agree it is the Yael.
I've never heard of them, so...
No, I haven't actually, fairness, but they're like greys. Do you think greys get typecast a lot?
People see a little alien with a big head.
And they go, great.
Yeah, it might be shit lights. They could be green. They could be beige.
It's true.
It could be any colour. But people instantly go, oh, it's the greys! Whereas you've got a lot of these beings, they all look very similar. They've got enlarged heads, skinny little bodies, they all seem to be naked. For considering they're all like thousands of years ahead of us, we seem to have invented
suits?
Clothes.
Well, the answer is how backwards we are. We're ashamed of our bodies, we cover them up.
No, it's because
They've
it's
got nothing-
fucking cold.
They've got nothing to be ashamed of, have they? They've got no bits.
It's not just that, it's necessity for us
They
humans.
could be wearing a little bracelet that keeps a heat field around their body to keep them warm.
Well, it depends where you are. If you're at the equator, then you don't need clothes to be fair.
No, because you do. You need clothes to fucking stop your skin burning from the
cream,
sun.
haven't you?
Not fucking 300, 400, 500, 600 years ago. You didn't.
Of course you did.
Well, they progressed.
The aliens came on.
Lights off the fence for ancient aliens.
All because of sun cream.
And you heard it here first. Mike is now an ancient aliens believer.
They came down, they're like, why aren't you nude? And I'm like, because of the sun. I go, I think I'll try this.
It's true though. It's like clothes for us are a
Yeah.
necessity due to weather conditions and things like that. More than anything, whether it's to protect from the sun or keep us warm, it's clothing, isn't it?
Well, until I stroke one of these guys.
I wondered what you were going to say though. I'm glad.
I didn't know what their skin feels like.
It was stroking
Just want to
spots.
stroke them. Like,
I didn't know that
you
stroking
mean-
genitals might have just been their arm.
Obviously,
Their genitals.
Mike goes for the genitals,
Yeah.
obviously.
I just want to see what it feels like down there.
You mind if I feel your soft patch?
Can I feel your smooth gooch?
Oh, it's up your bum, sorry.
That's not my bum. I think they'll be a bit rubbery like a dolphin.
Yeah, I was thinking that, so I was going for like a waterproof element to it.
Like elephant. Like
No, I
thick
think it'd be very much like
Elephant
ours.
skin.
I think it'd be very much like our skin. I think it'd feel just
Smooth.
like ours. Yeah, it'd just be smooth.
Well, the Yael know that we're not the friendliest beings out there, so they're taking their time to let themselves know, and by easing their way into our psyches with friendly UFO sightings.
Like ones that look like balloons or square fucking rectangles.
And that's the ones who been shooting down over the
Yeah.
US and Canada recently. No, such as the March 1997 sighting known as the Phoenix Lights. You see that one?
With all the different, with those all like
Yeah.
almost like a bloody.
And no one can really explain the ones. The best explanations that they give out, there were parachute flares being used by the military.
But they weren't moving.
No, they weren't. They were pretty stationary.
No, I've seen reenactments. People trying to reenact it, and the one they did was reflection of a pool, and they put loads of ping pong balls in a pool to see if they could make that look like it, because they were like, how could you do it? And they tried so many different things, but nothing they did held these white dots static in these like square formations like they were. So
Yeah,
it was
it's
just
crazy.
what's that? When you join the dots to make a square. You ever played that game? You do like a square of 10 dots, so you'd have 100 dots in a square.
I have no
And
idea.
You join up all.
Either way-
it looked like one of them in the sky, didn't it?
Either way, it can't be. No one's given a satisfactory explanation for it, to my knowledge.
You can do it nowadays with drones.
You could say, given that it's 1997 and drones
Yeah.
weren't really a thing, were they?
No.
So, unless the military's got them, of course.
Maybe. It's possible.
Well, how many years ahead are they than we know?
Potentially
apparently?
50.
So there you go. It could.
Yeah.
Could be more.
So yeah. Could be a possibility then, couldn't it?
Yeah. But even so, apparently that was them, and they don't abduct us and probe us brutally. They want to reach out and touch us in another way. Through our hearts and minds.
They can reach out and touch. My Willie.
They look a bit like greys, but
Longer head.
yeah, and they're green.
Elongated upwards like a cone head.
Yes.
But this is my point.
Maybe something with maybe a bit of ancient Egypt going on there.
Well, this is my point on the fact that, like, the greys are used a lot because they think it's a grey, whereas it's not. It could be one of these. It could be one of the other ones, the Archibolds, whatever you called them.
The Arcturians.
Them ones. But yeah, they all look very similar, don't they? Maybe that just shows the true evolution of beings is our shape, their shape. That is it. Like, that is the best
A
way.
humanoid shape is pretty decent. It's 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears. It's pretty efficient, the evolution, isn't it?
Have they,
Well, no, it means it's got to have had a very similar sort of evolution to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything's got 2 of everything most of the time, haven't they?
Well,
Not
In-
jellyfish.
No, apes. I'm thinking
Octopi,
apes.
mammals.
spiders, not
Yeah,
insects.
Yeah, alright.
mammals more so. Yeah.
Yeah, only mammals. It's got to
Yeah.
have, like, you know, very similar conditions, and life is going to go exactly the same way. I think it's unlikely,
When
actually.
you look at whales, their fins would have been the legs and the feet, and their other fins would have been
Yeah,
their arms.
whales are mammals, aren't they?
Yeah. So you can see, like, the way everything does have arms and legs in a roundabout way, doesn't it? Like 2 arms, 2 legs, mammal in the mammal species.
In mammals, yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to aliens, you know them elongated skulls that were found?
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
they
yeah.
been DNA tested and everything now?
Yeah. You can pretty much short that down to skull binding.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
They do it
But
from a
I
young
do see
age.
where you're coming from because there's been a lot
We
of
did an
skulls
episode
found
on that, didn't we?
a long time ago. Yeah.
And why were they doing it?
Yeah, well,
Who were
that's
they
the question.
emulating? That's
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah.
That's what we said, like, they're not aliens, but were they emulating aliens?
Yeah, were they trying to be like their gods that
Could be.
they were worshipping?
And a brief tangent. Let's look at the Egyptian gods. I mean,
Yeah.
if any deities look like they could be aliens, it's the Egyptian gods, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, definitely.
whether they're funky space helmets or their actual heads.
Yeah.
Either way. They're either funky space helmets, probably, or their actual heads.
Sweet ass funky helmets, son.
Yeah.
Back to the humanoid thing.
Yeah, going back to the human, the Anunnaki.
Hang on a minute. I
Oh,
just
sorry.
want to say that Neil deGrasse Tyson said that the most likely depiction of an alien in a film is the Blob.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've,
right.
heard that before.
Mm.
It would be more likely to be some kind of pustule, fluidy, blobby thing.
Beware of the blob.
Yeah, because of aliens looking like humans, they've got to have such a similar evolution. It's
Yeah.
unlikely. The same conditions on the same planet, there's life going exactly the same way, producing mammals and...
Xenomorphs.
Or here's my theory on that. Is it because the only way that life can form is by doing what Earth has done and these other planets? It has to work in a very, very similar way to this, hence why evolution does work in a very similar way. Even on these alien planets, you may find they had all the little insects, all the little animals, all the different kinds of mammally things.
We don't know,
like
do we?
them.
Because
Clair?
we're just projecting
And they're-
what we know.
There could be some sort of like humanoids that have kept gills because their planet was, you know, even more
Underwater,
water or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But no, I think that
Sinking.
there's a possibility that the reason we've evolved like we have, and these aliens that we apparently see look very much like us, is because maybe the only way to create life is with the conditions that these certain planets all have. Therefore, life is created in a very similar way,
It's
yeah.
possible.
but with deviations because of slight.
Evolution.
We don't
Natural
know.
evolution.
We don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah, they
And
could
genetic
be.
manipulation by themselves.
But they could be
Okay.
millions of years ahead of our evolution.
Yeah.
So
But there would have to be a rocky Earth near a sun, the same distance, and would have to have the same gravity and
yeah.
the same seasons and
But
things like
this
that.
is why they are so few and far between, because it has to be those exact.
Because if gravity
It could have
conditions.
life not from carbon. It could, on an alien planet, it could come from silicon,
Claire?
silicon.
sand basically,
Yeah.
rocks, and they could be alive.
Goddamn living rocks. Rock lords. Life finds a way. The Anunnaki.
Bastards.
If you... Sorry, go on, you're going to spend some more anti-Anunnaki
Well, they want to
propaganda
put us in their gold mines, wouldn't they?
They apparently did, yeah. If human beings are able to successfully colonise another planet, what would be the first thing we do? Well, we pillage it for resources, of course.
Unobtainium.
Because that's how Dad did it, that's how Grandad did it, and that's how we're going to do it, damn it.
You want that unobtainium?
God, unobtainium, what a fucking terrible name.
I thought it was a brilliant name.
I was like, oh, we need a mineral. Oh, we need to be almost so rare, it's almost unobtainium. Unobtainable. Unobtainium, boom, there we go, 5 minutes. 5 fucking minutes that would have taken to me. It was lazy.
I watched an episode of Pointless once, and there was a chemistry student on there.
You didn't say it,
They did.
Oh my fucking god.
I had to pick 3 and try and get a Pointless, and they said unobtainium.
Ugh.
Chemistry student.
Well, they teach in universities nowadays.
Yeah.
What's it from?
Avatar.
That's right.
Well, the Anunnaki aren't from Avatar, they come from Planet X, aka Nibiru, an almost mythical planet that some scientists believe rotates around our sun on a very wide elliptical orbit that takes it far out into the expanses of space,
Our son.
our sun,
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
before coming back in for a close shave with our sun.
I think
Complete bullshit on this one.
I think there are some scientists that do.
There are
actually
some
believe that.
scientists that reckon there's another planet
They haven't
out there.
discovered it yet, or maybe a.
Whether or not
twin
it's,
sun.
it's full of godlike beings who come down and
that's
slave us all.
Yeah, I don't think they're saying that.
Sorry, Mike, it's implied. And this crazy elliptical orbit is what makes its presence so hard to prove. However, the presence of the Anunnaki has been noted down in texts that date back to Mesopotamian cultures. Very fucking old. Some of the first civilizations. One of the first civilizations. And they are believed to be one of the alien races in contact with Earth. Anyway, on Nibiru's last brush with the planets of the inner solar system, it crashed into another rock, and the resulting collision created a planet we now call Earth. While the planet was here, a few of the Anunnaki hopped off their world and onto ours in search of a yellow element that they covered called gold.
They just hopped off.
Just hopped off.
While 2 big fucking rocks were colliding.
Just hopped off.
And Earth was being meshed together. Okay.
That's right, just hopped off.
Yeah.
That's why gold is so valuable. Right? We desire it because the Anunnaki desire it. And while they were here, they enlisted us as their workforce to mine it for them. That's right. Our entire existence is based on working our socks off every day so the alien overlords can have their fix of gold.
If you just saw Alien with the elites, it'd work, wouldn't it?
Maybe they are Anunnaki.
Ooh.
Maybe they're the lizard people.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Pete, because guess who's next?
No. Nah.
Don't like his nose.
He probably doesn't like yours either.
Probably wants to eat it.
But he wants to rape you with his barbed penis.
Ooh,
And eat your nose.
Because there's an account of a bloke being raped by one of these.
there was. He had a barbed penis.
He never realised he went to the doctors, did he?
That's right. And they said, do you realise that you've been buggered, sir? Because this was back in the 50s. Yeah,
It was some Mexican Oriental guy, wasn't it?
that's right. Oh man, that's going back, that's a long way back when we did Reptilians. That's an early episode, that is. They weren't, so the Anunnaki were one of the first guys to turn up and exploit us, but before them came the Alpha Draconians. Standing at 22 feet tall, these badass beings are made up of pure muscle, and they resemble dinosaurs or dragons.
Some of them have wings, the leader ones, aren't they?
Pindar
I'd do
has
them.
wings. Pindar's the leader.
I'd do him. I'd fight him.
22 feet tall, made up of pure muscle, they're
He
dragons.
wouldn't just bite my nose off, he'd bite my head off.
That's right. I get a little metal pole, little steel rod when it goes for the bite.
I think
Stick it in his
I
mouth.
think the shorter ones are about 10 feet, aren't they? 9
Yeah,
10
these
feet.
are the big boys.
I'll
These are the
take one of them,
bosses.
maybe.
Yeah.
These are boss level ones.
Fancies me chances more with a 10-footer.
So they're looking like dinosaurs and dragons, and as you can imagine, they were very unhappy when the Anunnaki showed up and took over. However, they are still active on our planet with puppets placed in the high echelons of government
NASA.
as they bide their time in an attempt to take over once again. NASA, every single government, maybe it's a reptilian.
But where are these 10 to 22 foot?
Oh, they're in hiding. They're in a fucking cave under the Vatican or something.
Maybe that's what's under the Vatican then, in the vaults.
Or under the Sphinx.
Catacombs.
We have the smaller reptilians now.
About the size of a human being.
Yeah, they were driven underground by the Anunnaki, where they are still said to reside today in a network of complex underground tunnels.
Are these the ones that Biden's meant to be one of and things like that?
Yeah, these are your Queen Elizabeths, or your King Charles now, I guess.
No, but they're hybrids, aren't they? They've got the bloodline, but they aren't true reptilians.
Liz was meant to be pure reptilian, wasn't she?
Nah,
She was
this is just
shape-shifting and everything.
I think it's just the bloodline, isn't it? That's why they call them blue bloods.
I don't know, man. I've heard lizard shapeshift.
Everyone's blood's blue.
So you shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Oh, right, sorry, Mike. Here I am talking reptilians, and I don't believe everything you hear, Ben, about reptilians. I'm pretty sure that everyone thought Queen Liz was a shapeshifter.
I don't know. I don't believe...
Everybody.
Well, everyone who has in this scenario.
As much as I believe that Beyonce's one as well.
Do you remember what's his
Well,
face who
then,
got was cloned and wrote all those hits for the artists?
Ed Sheeran.
No.
Donald somebody.
Yeah.
Donald Marshall?
Maybe. The cloning factories where Liz was just a lizard.
Nah.
Donald Marshall says it's true. And with the Nomos, some alien species chose to interact with certain tribes on Earth, and they just happened to get along better. The Scandinavians had the Nordics and the Dogons. The tribe indigenous to Mali in northern Africa had the Nomos, who hailed from the brightest star in our night sky, Sirius, which we talked about this on the Ancient Aliens podcast, the Dogon tribe.
Yeah.
The Dogons knew centuries before modern science caught up that Sirius is actually made up of 3 stars. They even knew how long it took for Sirius B to go around Sirius A. And considering they were millennia away from inventing devices powerful enough to see the stars close up, well, who told them?
What's that then? Sirius, the North Star, yeah, as we know it, that one.
No, that's not Sirius.
The dog star Sirius, isn't
They're
it?
saying the
Right,
brightest
it's the dog
star,
star.
the brightest star in the sky,
For them.
right? Because obviously for us, it's the North
Yeah.
Star as we know it. So it's not that one then.
No.
Right. Okay.
But they're like, there's 3 stars around that.
Do you have to be in Africa to see this one? Then, do
I'm
you?
guessing so, yeah. They're below the equator, so they get different set of stars at night, don't they?
Yep.
I might have been able to see it when I was in Saudi then.
You might have been able to. It certainly might have been hanging around somewhere, but yeah, there's a bunch of aliens from there too.
Shame it's cloudy tonight, otherwise we might be able to see the Aurora Borealis.
Yes.
Because if I'd have looked outside last night, we would have been able to see it. Gutted I didn't fucking look outside.
Isn't that strange how we're getting Aurora Borealis further down? Wouldn't that be suggest our magnetic field is weakening?
Yep.
Or strengthening because we can see it more.
No, because if it was its full strength, it would be limited to the northern poles. The further it goes down, the more it's having to absorb. The sun's obviously going through a heavy solar weather at the moment, and we're stuck with a weakened magnetic field. Alright then, let's go with the Agharians, a group of Asiatic or northern humans whose sources claim discovered a vast system of caverns below the region of the Gobi Desert and surrounding areas thousands of years ago, and have since established a thriving kingdom within, one of which has been interacting with other planetary systems up until current times. Vast cavern systems below Tibet allegedly link the Agati systems of Central Asia to Snake World, a multi-veiled cavern system under the southwestern slopes of the Himalayas where the Nagas dwell, according to Hindu legend. Now here, a serpent cult of human and reptilian collaborators dwells, one which is said to have had contact with the Nazi Thule Society during World War II. Shit just got interesting, didn't it?
That's going back to our very first episode we did, episode 1 that is.
Yeah,
Thule
Nazis and
Society.
the occult. But yeah, the Thule Society, Nazi occult society, looking for evidence of virulent Aryan cultures around the world. Turns out they met these guys.
So just sat underneath Mongolia, basically. Then there's a mass network of
There's a serpent
underground
cult.
caves and
Yeah. Long ago, an Asian prince is said to have led several militant followers, warrior monks, into the caves to kill the cult.
So has anybody ever seen these caves? Found them?
The Asian prince,
The Nazis.
the Nazis.
So why haven't we found them?
Some things are better just left alone, Pete.
But surely, right, if the Nazis have found him, we've found him.
In that case, yeah, you're pretty right, they have. They've made contact with them, I know they're there.
Maybe if we go in the Gobi Desert and look for them,
Should
we'll
we-
get stopped.
To the
Should we
Gobi
make-
Desert!
Should we make that our road trip for next year?
Yeah, alright. To the Gobi Desert, everybody.
Are we going through Russia or China, though?
Probably best we don't go through Russia
Yeah.
right
Or
now.
China.
Okay. What's the other route?
No direct flights, no.
India, maybe?
Yeah, I suppose.
Over the Himalayas.
We'll just have to get some donkeys and trek to the Himalayas.
I was thinking road trip because it'd be more fun, that was all. Or go in my Honda. Get about 3 miles down the road. Ah, shit, it's broke.
Well, either way,
As long as we don't come into contact with the Mongolian Navy.
they're completely landlocked.
They've got a navy there. We had it in a weird news one, so there's 7 of them, but 6 of them can't swim.
That's right, they got like 2 boats. Fantastic.
They sat in a paddling pool in one of their back gardens.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Do you do the Alpha Centaurians? Alpha Centaurians? I think we've come across these guys before, actually.
They're on Star Trek, aren't they?
Oh, they vibrate and resonate on the band of violent light.
Violet, not violent.
Violent light.
Violent nut light.
Violet light. That's why I read it. That's what I was sticking with. Violet light. This civilization has enormous scientific and technical knowledge that is the highest quality in the universe, and they're very theoretical. Part of their mission on Earth is to help raise the Earth's scientific, technical, and theoretical knowledge. So they're doing a very good job then, aren't they? Because we're getting thicker.
Yeah.
That's not good. Ashtar Command. This one's a bit of a doozy.
Okay.
The Great White Brotherhood, apparently.
Sound a bit racist to me.
Does, doesn't it? It's not going to go down well with Earth. One of the most interesting and intriguing extraterrestrial groups of all of them is that of Commander Ashtar and the Ashtar Command. And he's the man who's in charge of the airborne division of the Great White Brotherhood, or the Brotherhood of Light. Commander Ashtar and his vast extraterrestrial army of workers of over 20 million work closely and in conjunction with the Ascended Masters.
I think that means like Buddha and Jesus and all that, isn't it? Are they ascended masters?
I guess so. I guess, you know, it's...
I can't remember the episode because it was an early one.
I'm picturing a muscular Buddha and a muscular Jesus now, like with like a sword and a fucking, I don't know, like leather strapped fucking armour or something, I don't know.
They have transcended...
Gimp Buddha.
Yeah.
Well, they have transcended much of the lower self and astral desire that the people of Earth struggle with so frequently. Commander Ashtar also works closely with the angelic kingdom, most specifically with Archangel Michael. This one's mad as fuck.
Oh my god, this one's so fucking full of shit, it's unbelievable. Can we just bypass this one? This one's not... There's no fucking... There's no juice to this whatsoever, is there really? Let's face it. That one's just the most harebrained
It
bullshit.
ties in to the 1970s, I'm going to say 1973, 1977 Kent TV broadcast interruption by a man claiming to be Vrillian of the Ashtar Command, who was reaching out to Earth to extend a hand of friendship. This interrupted Kent TV for about 20-30 seconds more?
Couple of minutes.
Kent.
Couple of minutes.
Why Kent?
Just a transmitter that they hacked.
Yeah, you'd have thought...
Just covered the southern England. So during a news programme, a local news programme, it just cut the feed. It went to this like alien voice apparently. That
Yeah.
was telling us to
But it was clearly just some
get rid of our
fucking
nuclear
bloke,
weapons, and
just some bloke in his garage that had managed to.
no one ever found who it was.
No, they never found the
It's a
source to
mystery.
hack him.
To this day.
Some clever fucker, wasn't it?
Nobody got a recording of it, or
Yeah, there's a recording. It's on the internet. You
Yeah.
can see it. The theory is that it was some followers, wasn't it, of this
Yeah.
Ashtar man that believed in it. The UFO people from California
That's right.
that did it. But no one's ever been found.
No, no one's ever proved with it.
No.
No one's ever proved it.
But my point on that is, if it was these aliens with far superior technology, they're going to be able to hack into a TV station probably a little bit bigger than Kent.
Well, that was my argument, but at the same time, give up your nukes, become hippies, man.
Surely they'd be clever enough to have gone for BBC broadcast in the middle of fucking London. Like, they'd been able to work out that London's clearly the capital, and
No.
there's the big broadcast signal coming out of that place that's going all across the whole of the country. Let's pick that
why
one.
wouldn't you just gone for a satellite and then just like in
Late
tra-
70s, not so much.
just interrupted all transmissions and transmitted to everybody.
But that's why you'd have gone for the BBC, because they'd have had the transmission that they'd have
Are
been
you
able to see.
saying that Ashtar's Galactic Command didn't reach out and touch the people of Kent, Pete?
I'm saying that they did not.
Oh.
Far too far-fetched for me, that one.
Eva Borgs.
Ooh,
It's the Borg, isn't it?
The
From
Borg.
Star Trek, isn't it?
Cybernetic forms
forms.
controlled by human entities, or humans have been implanted or surgically altered to such an extent they have become cybernetic in nature, yet still retaining a soul matrix.
So that is just a fan of fucking the
just
next
the
generation.
Borg, right, that way. Just someone's Borg fantasy got out of hand.
Alright, there was that one hot Borg, wasn't there?
7 of 9.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, she was hot.
She had all her implants taken off, and she
Apart from the bit around her eye.
they couldn't take that bit out.
The Ikels. Small human, hairy humanoids with cloven hooves, which inhabit deep caverns beneath South America and elsewhere.
Mr. Tumnus.
Oh, it's all true. Pan, everything. They're just aliens. The Greek gods are aliens. That's it.
So the kids from Narnia basically fell down a fucking cavern
Yeah.
and they found Narnia.
They may be members of a fallen pre-Adamic race which possessed angelic animal and humanoid characteristics and now allied with the reptilians. And they have been known, according to natives, to kidnap women and children through the ages. And many stories are told of South American tribes who have battled these creatures with machetes during certain of their forays to the surface in search of women, children or food. I want to see tribes battling in front of fucking Mr. Tumnus' no machetes. What a film!
You heard it here first, kids.
Copyright me. I'm writing that film.
Evil little Mr. Tumnus is.
Yeah.
No, they're just fighting for food. They're fighting for survival.
You goddamn hippie. You don't like it? Go and join them.
I will. I'm on their
No
side.
machete for you.
I got my AK, don't worry.
No, taking that off you too.
I'll shoot you with it, so you won't
It's
be
too late.
able
It's
to.
already locked up. Well, we're having this discussion. I already said someone to lock it up.
God damn it!
Sorry. Off you go. Go and take your piece of sharpened fruit.
Sharpened fruit.
Yeah, that's what they're fighting with.
Is that what I'm allowed? Alright then.
What about leviathans, sea serpents, like Nessie, the Loch Ness monster?
So is that what they basically saying Nessie could be? Is a big giant fucking alien?
Loch Ness has been the site of much occult or paranormal activity, including UFO activity and grey sightings, and Mr. Crowley, Aleister Crowley himself, founder of the OTO or Ordo Templi Orientis, also known as the Beast, the Great Beast. He claimed to be in contact with the Beast of the Loch. He owned a mansion on the shores, and this same mansion became the residence of the British acoustic Jimmy Page, who played with British rock group Led Zeppelin. Do Hugh Page is well into Crowley stuff.
Sounds like bullshit.
Bought Crowley's
to me.
house, did it up.
So, if Crowley had befriended this beast, where's the documentation of that then?
You don't need documentation when it's Crowley. His word's enough. Do what the...
Is it?
God, I lived a fucking life.
When did he die?
1948, something like that. Maybe the 50s. I don't
So,
know.
photography not so easy. I
It's
guess.
Magic Pete, magic with a K. Didn't say he saw it, said he was in contact with it.
Right.
Psychically, I imagine.
Psychically
Yeah.
in contact with it.
Right.
But he did a lot of cocaine and a lot of goat's arseholes, didn't he?
Took a lot of heroin too. Had a lot of butt sex, champion power bottom.
When you say he did a lot
Fantastic.
of goats' assholes,
He snorted cocaine out of goat's arseholes.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's
Would
all
you-
fucking goats, wasn't he?
They were doing certain acts of bestiality.
lovely.
Because the more degrading the
Dear.
sex magic, the higher it was.
Is this why you like him so much?
Oh, guy lived a life.
You
The
sound
guy
like
lived a fucking life.
you
can-
just sound like a fan. That's all.
I am a fan of Crowley. I think Crowley's a fantastic character.
So when we don't
Yeah,
know where
he's one of history's fantastic characters.
when we don't know where Ben is next, I'm going to check the local farm.
He's blowing
I could just be having normal sex magic in an Ordo Templis Orientis lodge. Good night. You know about that? Went straight to the goats, didn't you?
Picturing goats
You went straight to the goats. There's me just going for some normal sex magic.
with goats.
No,
Sheep.
no.
Okay.
And apparently this serpent race is allegedly used for long-range psychic warfare and occult manipulation of the human race.
Oh God, what if Crowley was under the manipulation of a fucking Leviathan alien?
It would explain a lot.
It might do.
Pretending
This
to be
article's
Nessie.
just whipping any old myth.
I think it really is, isn't it? It seems to be.
The moon eyes.
Everyone so far pretty
Moon
much has just
eyes.
been like... Yeah, everyone so far has pretty much been absolute bullshit, isn't it?
Oh, Pete, you know no eyes and how I met those Greys and those Nordics.
No, on this particular feed you're on now, each one of these so far has all been in my eyes.
You'll like one of them. I can guarantee you that much.
Bigfoot.
Oh shit.
Yeah!
The Moon Eyes. Peaceful humans, some 7 to 8 feet tall with pale blue skin and large wraparound eyes which are extremely sensitive to light. They may be the same as the large humans allegedly encountered on the moon by our astronauts, according to John Lear. John Lear, of course, invented the Learjet, was a test pilot, very experienced pilot, massive UFO fan, seems to have claimed a few things he's seen in the sky, knew a lot of astronauts.
Well, you spend a lot of time like that in the sky. If you're going to see a UFO, it's going to be the likes of him that are likely to see one, isn't it? Really?
Well, he's a very experienced pilot.
Yeah. Thousands and thousands of hours of flying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not surprised that somebody like him is a big UFO fan, alien fan.
Absolutely. I'll go with that. Sasquatch. I just want you to know before I read this, I claim that Sasquatch is an alien being. I have strong personal feelings on that.
I think he's related to us.
I like to think that Sasquatch is just some hairy, primitive dude running around the woods. What's wrong with him being a cryptid? Why has he got to be an alien?
See, I think he could have just been
Clair.
the evolution,
Claire's uncle.
the missing link almost.
She thinks we're related to Sasquatch.
Claire's on board with me though, aren't you? Like, why can't he just be a hairy dude running around the woods?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like to think he's the missing link. He's like where evolution turned us from Homo sapiens into Homo sapiens sapiens and Neanderthals that died out and things like that. Maybe there was another.
Yeah,
one
you know, like
that history's
an ape
kind of
that
forgotten.
an ape that didn't go that route. Gigantopithecus.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
That's what I think.
No,
if
you're right.
they exist, they're definitely going to
Well,
be.
Gigantopithecus were pretty much giant
10 feet.
orangutans.
Yeah.
but they were orangutan. They were
Yeah, well,
very,
obviously-
very.
Well, there could be a
similar to orangutan.
cousin then. Or
So my point, that was where I was going to say on that. I think maybe chances are that there was slight different
Yeah.
variations of the species of the Gigantopithecus. So yeah, one of those species managed to survive.
Yeah.
Very well hidden.
Yeah, so that's my personal feelings. Like, you all agree with me, that's nice.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
we're all on that one, aren't
Yeah.
we?
They are believed to possess a heightened sensing ability which allows them to steer clear of human influence. They are more human than animal, according to some resorts where they are mistaken for animals, and this has forced them to take up a largely subterranean lifestyle. They've often been described as having a human face and an ape-like body, mostly strict vegetarians, which is they might be a hybrid between the two species. They have been known to attack humans only in self-defence, sometimes throwing large boulders to frighten intruders away. And there's also been hairy hominids which possess either like robot-like or amphibian characteristics, suggesting biogenetic manipulation to create biological machines or cyborgs or cyborg Bigfoots.
yeah.
Jesus.
Imagine an army of them.
Yeah. You wouldn't have to worry about alien invasion. Set the cyborg Bigfoots on them. Yeah, fuck now, mate.
Too fucking right.
Fucking xenomorphs.
It was
Yeah, have it.
invisible cyborg Bigfoots.
No, the thing is, there's some serious Bigfoot researchers that do believe a similar thing to that they could be an alien species or potentially an alien hybrid species that they come down and had babies with us, and Sasquatch is what came from that.
Well,
There's lots of different theories.
The most I'll ever give those guys, right, is like, okay, he's multidimensional and he doesn't know he is though, but he accidentally just pops through one day and has a walk and gets seen by somebody. You know, maybe they're a multidimensional thing. I think they're a I think they're a creature. I don't think they're an intelligent alien race. They're just a cryptid.
I remember your reaction when I first mentioned the multi-dimensional theory of Bigfoots. You seem to have swayed slightly more.
That's the
to
most.
it.
No, that's the most I'll give you.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know he's doing it. He
more
just,
than he
just
did when
walks
I
through like a
mentioned
Doctor
it.
Strange portal into a forest on Earth. He's like, oh fuck, that's got a bit wrong, isn't it? Where's it going? And then another one opens up and just takes it out.
Which would
That's the most I'll give you.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going for alien species. It's just a dude in the woods, man. It's just a beast in the woods that we all know and love.
Yeah. One day I will go to America and I will go squatching.
And have sex with it.
Hopefully. I can live in hope.
I just hope it's not a red thermal blob on a camera.
As long as it is a female Sasquatch.
A pregnant one.
Like that one that you sent me over the meme that time.
Yeah, I
She
would
was
have.
hot. She was like a Rihanna version of a Sasquatch.
It's
Hot and
fantastic.
hairy.
Yeah, I don't mind.
He's
Got
got
hairy inside.
You see, you've got the whole series, haven't you, Hot and Hairy?
Worst thing is, whenever you mention something, pictures come in your head. So I've just got pictures of hairy women. Yeah,
It's death by snooze stew with a female Bigfoot, though, isn't it?
yeah. I can think of worse ways of going.
And so those are the alien races, alleged alien races in contact with the Earth. I think you got the Greys are pretty high up there. Let's face it. I mean,
Yeah. And I think they also account for a lot of mistaken identities.
I think people might be misspeciesing the Greys.
Yeah. They're being alienist.
Yeah.
And the reptilians are big players in it, aren't they? And the Palladians.
Well, there's
our side.
3 different reptilian races, isn't there, basically?
There's a lot of sub ones we haven't gone through, there's a lot.
Yeah,
There's a
but
lot.
of the main ones that we covered
Yeah.
tonight, there was one that was like a hybrid, one that was the little ones, and then there's the big fucking 20-foot
draconian
one. Yeah,
big
so there's
ones,
like 3 different kinds, but which ones were which and who...
I need more evidence. There's just, just because
Yeah.
some guy said it.
Well, these are all the ones most commonly seen by people all around the globe who don't know each other or didn't. Remember, obviously, in the age of the internet, stories can obviously get very
And
forwarded.
newspapers as
multiply.
well.
But if you go far enough back to like the 50s, 60s, when these things weren't as well known, and people in Chile are seeing Nordics, and then people in Britain are seeing Nordics, and then Americans are
Just
seeing
sing it's all
greys.
Swede or Norwegian, that's it.
I must be a
Well,
Nordic.
who's broke into the house at night and
Yeah.
Look at this
Standing
tall
over
blonde
them.
stands
Nord.
over them?
The Norwegian knobber.
Look how tall he is. He must be an alien.
You know, who knows?
Dunno. I need more evidence, like I say.
Hundreds of thousands of people claim to be abducted by aliens all around the planet, and certainly there's a certain group of aliens that people always seem to see.
Is it
Sort of
all
like
attention?
flashbacks, you're saying that this is what people are reporting.
Dreams, hypnosis, and we know hypnosis isn't reliable, I know. But, you know, nightmares, dreams...
So they're more reliable, are they? Nightmares and dreams. Must be true.
I've had a fair few nightmares of aliens and that, and so have I been abducted by aliens
It's
potentially?
a possibility.
No, I think you've watched too many films and it'll amalgamate in your brain.
I've certainly never been on an operating table, not one of them kind of.
Pete would have been a prime candidate for alien abduction, working on a nuclear sub. They might think he has the codes or intimate knowledge of our weapon systems.
The
Then they
codes
returned
must
him
be
and they
in here
realised he didn't.
Full cavity search.
I've woke up with green stuff around my knob before.
Well, that's just BD, mate. That's STDs.
Is that when I'm? Oh right. Oh no, definitely not. It washed off.
Oh, well, at least as long as he didn't come back.
Just wondering whether my thoughts on giving them a bit instead of them giving me, maybe it came true. Nah,
Or maybe just alien STD.
maybe.
Maybe some gunk from around the milking cup they put over your dick to wank you off.
No, if I ever have any kind of alien dream, it's
Alien
normally
lube.
involves shooting and fighting and that kind of alien dream. As
Oh, maybe,
opposed to
alright, so maybe you were Randy
abduction.
Kramer on Mars fighting insectoids for the good of humanity.
Certainly more like that, I think.
Your skull fucked the corpse. And
I had one dream so fucking vivid though. I wished I'd have written it down, and because it would have made an awesome
Sold
movie.
into a sci-fi film.
Yeah, honestly, it would have made an
Well-
awesome movie. But it was vivid, and I can remember bits of it now, but not enough to make a film out of. But
Well,
at
you
the
fill in,
time,
will you? Fill in. Get some creative writing on board.
yeah, I'm too lazy.
And on that note, alright, well, on that note, I've been Ben. Those are aliens. Tell us which ones you think are more likely. Don't do the afraid, don't join a cult.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
I've been Clair, keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
I've been Pete. Hope you all have a nice week. Take care.